All of these glow in the dark, but if we're talking about looks only, this pair is still my favorite. What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about almost all the Halloween shoes that released so far this year. I didn't get a pair of the Freak 6 and the Giannis Immortality 4, but we're going to talk about the performance of the MB3, the performance of the Book 1, the performance of the KD17 Halloween, and my initial thoughts on the Nike Ja 2. With that being said, let's get straight into it and start with the Ja 2s. We're also going to take a look at the box because I'm a big fan of boxes and love when it has special designs. This pair right here has like a purple, grayish, black tone, and we can see 12 AM and Ja's logo here on the top. It's nothing special. I would have wished for an extra special design for the Halloween pair or for the zombie pair like we got for the MB3. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, so let's go to the shoes. They have a lot of crazy details, especially the heel goes extremely hard in my opinion. And of course, if you compare that with the Ja 1 that also released in a zombie colorway, you can see that the heel is relatively similar, but of course overall the shoe has a totally different design. The silhouette is kind of Nike Kobe 5 like. They retail for $130 at Kicks. All of these shoes were sent to me by them, so a massive shout out and thank you to them. You can find an affiliate link down below in the description box, but you can also just use the code Lucas. Normally it gives you 10%, right now it gives you 25% as they have the Halloween sale going on. Back to the Ja 2's design is very cool in my opinion. The only thing I don't like is the little grill here in front. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Debating if I should keep it on or put it off. And also going to the question of the day, we have our Halloween game tomorrow, so to speak. We play a game, league game tomorrow. It's a very important game. We currently got 3 wins and 2 losses. It would be very nice to get into a little break with 4 wins. And I'm thinking which pair of these Halloween sneakers to wear. So let me know down in the comment section below which pair I should wear in my next game. Now for performance, of course, this is only my initial thoughts as I just got them today. So they're fresh out of the box and I just wore them at home. Traction pattern feels very promising. A teammate of mine has got the blue colorway. He practiced with them twice and he's been liking them a lot so far. He says they're pretty damn narrow, which is something I can confirm as well. The Ja 2 was very good. My bad, the Ja 1 was very good after break-in if you had wide feet. Here, I'm not so sure, especially in the front. It's a very, I don't know how to say, like pointy toe box. So essentially, I'm actually hitting my toe even though I'm going a full size up, which hasn't happened to me on any pair in a really long time. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. The midfoot is also quite narrow, but I think because the materials are soft, it will break in quickly. The cushioning setup kind of feels exactly the same as on the Ja 1, and the support features also should be relatively similar to the Ja 1's. Moving on to my current favorite performer, the Nike Book 1. They also got the Halloween treatment. The box stayed exactly the same. It's a beautiful box as is, in my opinion. Love all the details, especially like that this looks like the back of a book if you put it upright. So that's a really cool feature, but again, sadly no extra Halloween features. And also the shoe itself has probably gotten the smallest adjustment. It's an almost all black colorway with some white accents. The outsole glows in the dark. Tried to put some clips of that on screen. We have a adapted book logo on the tongue. I like the look of it. I like the little Halloween accents they put there. I also like that the Nike swoosh has got stitches all over it, also here on the side. We also have the heel tab with the chapter 1 lettering and the 96 in Halloween style lettering, which is pretty cool. So it's a very subtle colorway. Something you don't see on pictures is the compound of the materials, or actually what they put on the materials. If you look very closely, you can see it's actually kind of peeling off a little bit. That is actually on purpose, because if you take the other shoe, you get this little tag right here, and it says, please note, natural cracks seen on the upper is normal due to the random crackle ink application. So essentially they used some ink over the leather upper that gives it this cracked up look. Performance is amazing. I love the traction performance. The translucent pairs usually pick up some more dust. Cushioning setup is extremely comfortable and perfect for me. I like a nice and low to the ground forefoot and a padded and comfy heel. The materials on this colorway are leather again. I prefer the synthetic materials on the Sunrise colorway you can see up there. And the support features are good, but I wish they would have added an outrigger here on the side that would help with some minor lateral stability issues. Next up, we have the MB3 Halloween, and finally we have an adapted box. It's pretty cool. You've got a lot of details, Halloween lettering here on the side. We've got the mouth or the scary mouth and eyes on the side. And if you open the box, you see a little boo lettering inside, which is also really cool in my opinion. As I said, I love details on the box and I love storytelling on boxes. That's why I'm such a big fan of the Nike Book 1 box itself. It has great storytelling, great attention to detail, and just fits the signature athlete very, very well. The MB3 box does that as well. The shoe itself also has the most Halloween details out of all the shoes here. In general, LaMelo shoes usually go a little bit over the top, doing too much, but I think in this case it's appropriate. We have a nice orange and black colorway. The outsole glows in the dark. The accents on the tongue glow in the dark. Those little eyes here glow in the dark. That's a very, very cool detail in my opinion. And the Not From Here lettering, as well as the MB1 Trick or Treat lettering here in the back, glows in the dark. Really, really cool features and accents. You need to keep them in sunlight or daylight. Also synthetic light works, but it just doesn't charge them up as quickly, so to speak. Sunlight is the best. Just leave them in sunlight for 5 minutes and they'll glow like crazy. You can also just, if it's cloudy, put them near your windows. They'll also glow like after half an hour or something like that. I tried it out with all the pairs. I noticed that the KD17s glow the hardest and the Book 1s need the most time to glow. For performance, the MB3 is a very curious shoe. It's got insanely nice cushioning, so very soft, great impact protection, kind of high off the ground too. So I actually do recommend these for big guys because the support is also amazing. Very, very supportive shoe. You really feel locked in if you're wearing these. The issue is the materials are a little bit stiff at first, so it takes some time to break them in. So right here you can see the mouth moving nicely, but they are a bit stiff, especially here in the back and towards your ankle area. But the massive issue with the MB3 is the traction performance. I don't know if this pair is going to be any different. It has a very sticky sound to them, but on my other pairs, performance on dusty courts was really, really bad. On clean courts, you're going to be good to go, but you'll also pick up a lot of dust. If you're on dusty courts, I'd really stay away from these. I forgot to say these retail for $140 and the Book 1 goes for $160. Now, moving on to the last pair we have already, it's going to be the Nike KD17. We don't have a special box, just the regular KD17 box, which is a little bit disappointing, but what can you do about it? The shoe itself, however, is very, very cool in my opinion. We have a little bit of a different upper, as well as the laces are different. If you look closely, you kind of have a velvet look to them, so to speak. They kind of remind me, overall, the shoe reminds me of a spider, just the green accents, as well as this velvet look, kind of looks like a hairy spider. I know that might gross some of you out. I think it's pretty cool. I'm actually also a fan of spiders. The outsole glows like crazy in the dark, so I'm definitely going to put a close-up of that onto the screen. So essentially those are all the Halloween details we have on this shoe, but I do really like what they did. And the performance of the KD17 is actually very nice. I was a huge fan of the KD16s. You can see I have a lot of colorways here in the background. At first I didn't like the KD17 Sunrise that I got. They just needed some time to break in, especially the cushioning setup. It felt very stiff in the forefoot because they added a shank plate here in the forefoot, and that just took away some of the cushioning that you could feel very simply and nicely on the KD16s. Air strobe in the heel, insanely comfortable, and an air zoom unit in the forefoot. As I said, just give it some time, but after a couple of sessions, you're going to sound like Squidward walking around. It's really compressing nicely, and it's got great impact protection throughout the whole midsole. You're also not too high off the ground, which I like. Traction performance is very nice. They do pick up some dust. The support features are also very good. And as I said, the materials are nice and soft. They don't need much time to break in, just be aware the cushioning does. What is also nice about them is the fit. They are wide foot friendly. I have an extremely wide midfoot. I size up one full size for all my pairs, and these fit me absolutely perfectly. No pinching or hurting anywhere. You can see that the toe box is also way wider than on something like the Ja 2s, for example. You can see here it's very pointy. Here it's a little bit more round. That's all I have for you today on the Halloween shoes. If you enjoyed the video, I'd highly appreciate it if you could leave a like. Also subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'd highly appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Have a good one and see you next time.